Marriage proposals are stupid. This is no way for two grown humans to make a major life decision. So where I'm coming from, there was no proposal. My partner did not get down on one knee to propose or anything. Oh, how embarrassing. I'm just not the type of person who would have liked that in the first place. But also, I do agree with Caroline Kitchener writing for The Atlantic that it's kind of childish and weird. Certainly if you've talked about it before and have already agreed to getting married and then, you still want to do the surprise of the proposal, that's totally fine. But I don't understand not knowing if the person you're with wants to marry you and just hoping they do or hoping they don't. Partner and I talked about it and decided we wanted to get married. And then at one point we're like, oh, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it now. And when I say we talked about it, I mean we talked about what that would mean. We made sure we both wanted to have children, right? I think I've said before that I told him, about having kids, that this is going to be a 50-50 split thing, right? Like, I'm not going to be just stay-at-home mom and you go work. Like, that's not going to work for me. I don't want to do that. Point is, we were very different, I think, from a lot of couples in that we went above and beyond to make sure that we were on the same page before agreeing to a life commitment. So it's unsurprising, I would agree, that marriage proposals are largely stupid. This is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. You need to spend a lot of time talking about it and thinking about it. And I don't think you should be not coerced, but kind of coerced into saying yes because it's in a public place and you don't want to embarrass the person. Responsible decisions aren't made in the moment. They're the product of dialogue and careful, measured consideration. Even if a couple is already living together, marriage is a big step. There are important questions to ask. How will finances work? Would you move across the country for a job? Will we have children? And if we do, will you change the diapers? I met one guy who would not change his child's diapers. He said it made him almost vomit. So he didn't do it. I can't, what? Because elaborate proposals inhibit conversation, they pressure the person being asked to say yes. A few women in Lamont's study admitted that they said yes, even though they really didn't want to get married. Faced with an extravagant proposal, realizing how much work must have gone into it, they felt they had to choose between an engagement and a breakup. I felt like it would be saying no to the relationship rather than just saying no to the proposal. I didn't think we could come back from that. She goes on to talk about how women aggressively avoid awkward situations, or most women do, which I think is probably true. I think that's probably a fair stereotype or generalization, but the same can certainly be said for some men as well. And in this day and age, we're having gender swaps, I guess you could say, where women are proposing to men, which I think is equally unfair, right? To put that kind of pressure on someone, assuming you haven't talked about it beforehand. Some couples will try to have both the conversation and the show. They'll make sure they're on the same page about marriage, and then the woman will wait for the man to pick the perfect time and place. While this approach certainly helps, these conversations may be somewhat suffocated by the knowledge that a proposal is looming and a desire to preserve some element of surprise for the big moment. When I proposed to my boyfriend, we had already talked beforehand. The proposal was lovely, but I still wonder if it was really necessary. I mean, of course it's not necessary. We didn't do it. So, you don't have to do it to get married, obviously. If you've already talked about it, I think that pretty much removes any of the issues with a proposal, unless someone has changed their mind, right? And then they still feel that pressure. I guess that could happen. But I mean, someone could talk about getting married and then they get married and they change their mind. Everyone makes mistakes. So yeah, I would love to see the proposal die, or at least, change in a very substantial way. I would love to have people view it as, that's insane. Why would you make this huge life decision like that? But instead, we still have rom-coms and whatnot that glorify the proposal and make it this whole romantic, awesome thing. And, oh, he proposed in this way. He must be the perfect guy. He put so much effort into it. And everyone thinks they're the exception, right? I mean, you hear the divorce rates and a good half of Americans get divorced, but of course, that's not you, right? You're different. And I'm not even saying that getting rid of proposals would necessarily reduce the divorce rate. I think being married is really, really hard, even if you are with someone that you're very open with, in tune with. It's just hard. It's hard living with someone and sharing everything with them forever. We can get sick of people and stop loving them or be resentful towards them. That's why there are people who dedicate their entire career to helping marriages succeed, right? Like marriage counselors and couples counseling. But I wouldn't be surprised if it could help a little bit. At the very least, it's the principle of the thing, right? Like we shouldn't be glorifying, we shouldn't be encouraging such frivolity when it comes to something so important. And we also shouldn't be encouraging such pressure on the woman. I mean, again, most of the time it is the woman who has to say yay or nay. I mean, look at the videos that go viral when someone says no. It's like such a big, heartbreaking thing. That's so unfair to put on someone. I don't expect proposals to change anytime soon. Look at weddings. They're still thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just so insane. I don't know how many times watching home TV, HGTV stuff with my mom years ago, a new couple would go to buy a house and they didn't have money to do this or renovate this because it was money that was going toward the wedding. Wow. Absolutely insane to me. But, to be fair, that's not how I was raised. I was not raised around family members who glorify weddings or even had like huge weddings. It's just not, no. I've only been to one large wedding in my life and it was just totally foreign to me and totally weird. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. And just to be clear, I'm not saying I'm some sort of marriage expert. Not at all. I'm just someone who happens to be married and have been married for a little while, not even that long in the grand scheme of things. And certainly, again, we are outside the norm when it comes to traditions like that. I mean, you guys have probably noticed I don't wear a ring. Like we haven't even gotten rings for ourselves. It's, we're weird. And we're probably not special when it comes to the divorce rate, 50% or whatever it is. I think it's maybe gotten a little bit better. There are certain things that maybe give us an advantage. Being more intelligent, not saying that I'm super, super smart, but I'm smarter than average. Partner is very, very smart. Much smarter than me. That might give us an advantage, which I think makes sense, right? I think the more intelligent you are, probably the better at problem solving you are. You're able to work through things a bit better than the average person. Not having been married before, having past marriages increases your risk of divorcing again. Some other things as well. So yeah, our chance is probably better than many people's, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be together forever, Just being honest. It's like the vegan YouTubers who say, I'll never stop loving animals and I'll never go back to eating meat. And every single time they do, it's like, just don't. Just don't say that. You're jinxing yourself, right? Never say never. Have you not seen it? Have you not seen no, that's not Five Goes West. That's the first one, right? American Tail. The pigeon. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Like it if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff from me. You know what subscribing does. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I upload. Thank you so much to my patrons at patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I will have a new video very soon. Man, they've been so good. I've recorded 3 videos now. Been down here for like over an hour and they've been like mostly pretty quiet up there. Amazing. Even new baby's quiet. That's nice. I gotta come up with names, with nicknames. Someone said to let the older kids, my 5 and 3-year-old, pick a little nickname to use for them. That might be kind of cute. I might do that. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I've been just calling them 5-year-old, 3-year-old. And then this one, I guess, new baby or third baby, final baby.